and we're going to be talking about group practices today and how to create space as a group practice owner for actually running your group practice. I'm going to tell you my story, and then I'm going to share some insights on how to create space. So I'm the accidental group practice owner. I didn't go into private practice to have a group practice. I actually joined a group practice initially, and I realized that there were really great clinicians out there that I wanted to work with. And I'm like, these people are fantastic. And I had friends who were in the business that were intrigued by what I was doing, and that piqued my interest. So I started a group practice in 2015, carrying Therapists of Broward, sort of inadvertently. I realized, again, like I said, I wanted to build something, but that was never my intention when I started my solo practice or joined a group practice in 2013. And so when I started my group practice, I kept my same exact caseload, and I kept that same caseload for a long time. And in hindsight, I realized that I was really limiting myself because I wasn't able to grow the group practice the way I have been when I have reduced the amount of clients that I've seen. And in the beginning, I had a part-time person answering my phones. And that is probably one of the biggest things that was a mistake, but we can talk about that another day. So I saw pretty much the same amount. And when we moved our office, so when we jumped from a 3-office suite to a 5-office or 6-office suite, I realized, yes, I need to really create more space in my schedule in order to do things to run the business, right? Because I was accustomed, like when I had cancellations, I would write notes, call psychiatrists, relax. And I realized that my time was going to be squeezed. I would still need to see my caseload, do those things, and run the business, right? My office manager would call and have a question, or the clinicians would be like, how do I do this? Or I had to schedule time to interview people. There were a lot of things that went into running a group practice that now I needed to create space for. And so what I initially did was just become more efficient with my time. I really scheduled out the things I needed to do and put time in my schedule for them. Things like hiring, things like reviewing emails, things like creating policies and procedures, or any of those administrative things. I put it directly into my schedule, my clinical schedule, so then I knew I had time to do those things. Then when we went to a 2-office location, we went from 1 office to 2 locations, I really had to be judicious with my time because I was going to be traveling back and forth between those 2 locations. And so I squeezed down my hours. I wasn't working as long of days. And that kind of happened naturally with some changes that were going on with my life. And that was a big help because now I always kept my Fridays open, and I really utilized that time to do what I need to do with the group practice. Where before I was working longer days and I was making great money and I was like happy doing it. I really loved my caseload at that time. But on Fridays, I really needed that time to recoup. When I reduced my hours during the week, I didn't feel as drained. So on Friday, I utilized that time in order to do all the things that I needed to do. And so then eventually I made sure I always had a lunch break, right? I made sure that I had time in my schedule to do the things that I needed to do for my personal caseload, the things that I needed to do for my group practice, and took Fridays to really, I call it catch up, and really do administrative things. I want to talk about one thing that group practice owners don't necessarily think about, and one thing I want you to think about. Now, first, I want to thank our sponsor, TherapyNotes. If you're looking for an electronic health record that's really fantastic to run your group practice, I want you to check out TherapyNotes. When we made that big jump and we expanded, we switched to TherapyNotes, and I had been so happy with that decision because TherapyNotes was designed for the group practice owner. You can run reports. You can bill directly from there. You can sort so many things by clinician, by location, that you can really get down to the minutia of your business and really see what's working. And so if you are thinking about opening up a group practice, I want you to really look at TherapyNotes and consider it for your group practice needs. So thank you to our sponsor, TherapyNotes. One thing that I was not prepared for as we grew was things that came up during the day that wouldn't take a lot of time. It would take 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, but needed to be dealt with right away. And that's when I decided and realized that seeing clients at the level I was seeing was not going to work, because there were small fires that it's not that I just personally needed to put them out because I created a leadership team and other people can do that, but there were just decisions that I needed to make, or things that were going on, or issues that I needed to be clued in on that required my time and required my effort, or being open and available to networking events or meetings, different things that took to run a solid group practice. And that's really when I decided that I needed to really cut back. So we have 35 clinicians, and we have a leadership team. We have multiple levels to our practice, and it allows for me to be the owner and to run the practice. And so when you're first setting up your business, take a look at your expenses, how you can implement a leadership team, and then get to a point where you can be running your practice. Here answering your questions on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'll see you soon, everybody. Bye.